I want to talk today about why your presence is paramount for others to progress. Why it's so important that you turn up in the world in an authentic, confident, honest, and forthright manner. We don't live in a vacuum. The world is here swirling all around us, looking for direction. And we have a choice, really. We can join in the confusion, we can get caught up in the maelstrom, or we can choose to stand up, stand out, and make a mark. Staying on course during troubled times. And Jesus so clearly said, man, you're going to have some trouble. In this world, you're going to face some challenges. You're going to face some mountains. You're going to experience trouble, but rejoice and be happy because I have overcome the world. You may feel that your voice is lost in the noise, but I just urge you, don't quit speaking. Don't stop declaring. A lot of people lurk in the shadows, listening for a note of hope. They're just listening for some hope, never daring to show their own personality above the parapet before they see someone else stand up and step out, someone else like them, someone else that they feel they understand and who would understand them. Sometimes when we look at the glitter of the world around us, it's these bigger than life personalities that are the ones who are paraded as those that we should aspire to. But often the inspiration doesn't come from the kind of those big out of this world personalities. On the ground inspiration for ordinary people comes from ordinary people who have chosen to do the extraordinary thing and actually step up and seek to make a difference. And so you stepping out gives permission to others to step out themselves. And of course, the world is always kind of swaggering around like some overweight Goliath, saying, okay, you can go this far, but no further. We'll be allowed a little bit of rope, but as soon as we begin to step over that line of what is generally accepted or generally tolerated, it's going to begin, the world is going to begin pushing back and really saying, look, who are you to make a difference? Who do you presume yourself to be that you would stand up and start a podcast or begin to share your views and share your worth and share your ideas on YouTube? Or who in the world do you think you are to write a book or create a blog? And oftentimes that intimidation that we feel from others who get nervous because we are no longer accepting the status quo can back us back into our box. I want to blow the box apart. Renegade voices are always going to be, someone's going to try and silence them by criticism, by pointing fingers, whatever it may be, but we've got to be willing to stand in the face of that fear and anxiety of what others might think and say, man, I am ready to be counted and what I say counts. Just pierce that shroud of political correctness and just bring some real meat to the table for people to enjoy and engage with. I promise you, ma'am, your presence is requested. Your presence is requested. The King has sent out invitations to this meal where we sit in the presence even of our enemies and rejoice in the goodness of God and celebrate the gifts that He's given us by actually using them. I read the other day, God's gift to us are the talents that He puts in our hand, and our gift back to Him is when we use them and when we put them to use on behalf of other people. And you know, the thing is, as creatives, we're called to count and to kick against gray. Yeah, kick against beige, whatever color you want to call it. If it's kind of if it's a non color, yeah, that's what we're called to kick against. Some things simply are black and white, night and day, yes and no. And sometimes those are the things that you need to say, not for political reasons, not for fame or fortune, but for the future of the ones who'll hear your voice. People are looking for leaders, yeah? People are looking for those who are willing to kind of step beyond what is deemed acceptable. And of course, here, you've got to understand and hear what I'm saying here. I'm not telling you to be rude. I'm not telling you to put things out there that are just flat out offensive. But really, I guess what I'm trying to say is, oftentimes, when we begin to step out in our chosen field of favor, in our chosen field, and we begin to get that confident ring in our voice, it makes other people who long to do similar things nervous, and there can be a pushback, you know, and we've got to move through that sense of embarrassment, move through that sense of anxiety, move through that intimidation that sometimes our spirit might feel, and continue to create, continue to serve, and continue to bring value to the table that others can partake of. You know, and emboldened by your decision to stand up and stand out and say what's in your heart, you know, others will begin to squirm free of that grip from the intimidation that the world and the devil wants to put on them. Those slimy fingers will lose their hold, and kingdom voices are going to rise up in synchrony, you know, shaping a new way of seeing the world, bringing a new perspective, a kingdom perspective, like outside of the madness of this world in its present, like just crazy, confused state. There's going to be this orchestra of voices, kingdom voices in every sector of society, creative voices bringing solutions and bringing perspectives that are much higher, coming from a higher place. Like God said, my thoughts are higher. My thoughts are way above. And we can come in and we can, through the Holy Spirit, have many of those thoughts and ideas revealed to our heart so we can bring something new and fresh and vibrant into this kind of confusion and darkness. I truly believe that. I believe that God is raising up kingdom entrepreneurs, kingdom men and women in the realms of business, kingdom artists, actors, voices, kingdom singers, musicians, kingdom painters, kingdom, whatever, you name an area of communication, you name any realm where value is being exchanged and communicated. Jesus has his people whom he will plant and raise up in those areas to bring great things to the world. And, you know, we've really got to learn what I call the vicious art of authenticity. Vicious, and that word vicious, it may sound a little kind of out of place there, but vicious to the sensibilities of those who would silence your service to the world. You know, these things are like an attack on their ears, an attack on their eyes. When they see someone stepping out of the gray box that the world wants to push us into, where our creativity has been squeezed and sapped from us through years of conformity, and we begin to step out of that, and man, it just like aggressively irritates that worldly spirit that wants to conform people to its own way of thinking and doing and being. But as we know, the scriptures tell us, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. Be transformed, and more than that, transform others. Your work, your words, whatever you bring is transformative in nature when it flows from a heart sanctified to the kingdom purpose. You know, get real good at the art of being real, living openly and vulnerably on the pages of history, a history that only you can write. You know, your living words populate the pages of each day with every breath you take, and your generosity feeds the hearts of more people than you'll ever know. Like I say, many people just lurk in the shadows, afraid to actually step out and make their voice known. Don't be one of those people. Be someone who gives permission. Like when others look at you and they see that you have said yes to yourself, that could be the very permission card that they need to step out of the storm and begin to speak themselves. You know, this, my brother, my sister, is a symphony. This is a symphony, a kingdom symphony that we're playing together, bringing the word and the worth and the wonder of God's creative being and creative character to the world. Yeah. And you are an instrument in the hand of the Maker himself. So go make something today. Say something, sing something, and let your genuine be heard. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully, it's been an encouragement to you today. If you want to connect any further, you can do so through my website at davidleemartin.com. Have a great day.